Welcome back to a Portrait of Pittsburgh Bride on KDKA TV. I'm John Klein. Today we have 6 businesses coming up. Sherry Kai from Bettis Floral and Event Design will provide all of the finishing touches for your wedding. And finally, Dr. Anthony Cesaro will help you lose a couple of inches to make sure that dress fits perfectly. But right now, from one of my favorite restaurants, Brian George from the Grand Concourse is going to teach you how to have that ultimate reception that your guests will love. Welcome to Portrait of Pittsburgh Bride, Brian.
Thank you, John. We
were just talking. I was in the Gandy Dancer 2 weeks ago sipping a nice cold Guinness. My favorite room in all of Pittsburgh is the Grand Concourse. You have to love when people come in and have that reaction.
I mean, how awesome of a space it is. I mean, you're in a century-old train station with beautiful stained glass and marble columns. I mean, what better setting for your wedding reception or a nice anniversary dinner for you and your family?
I love taking somebody in there for the first time, and I tell them, I say, keep your eyes down until you get into the room and it opens up in front of you. It is the most spectacular room in the entire city.
I agree. I read a description of our building one time that described our building as a geode, that when you crack it open, you've got this amazing centerpiece inside just a simple out shell of a rock.
A lot of weddings at the Grand Concourse?
We do about 32 to 40 a year, depending on the size. We've done wedding receptions for as small as 8. In fact, this past Saturday, we did a beautiful wedding reception for just 23 guests in one of our smaller rooms. It was very intimate and very nice.
But you can also go a lot bigger if you...
Oh, yes, yes. Our main dining room will seat up to 200. And if you'd like to do larger than that, we have more than one dining room. In fact, we have 5, and we'll take over as many dining rooms as necessary to accommodate your group.
Total head count, what's the maximum?
If you're willing to seat some of your guests outside in our cafe and in the saloon, we can get about 700 people in the building.
Can you really?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is amazing. What's the most memorable event that you had, most memorable wedding that you've had in the Grand Concourse?
Well, you know, you never want to single any one person out because they're all really special and awesome, but we've had a couple of really neat things over the years. Last year we did a wedding for one of the assistant coaches from Pitt, and he and his bride both worked at the athletic department, so they actually had their name cards were made out of, they look like football tickets, and they laid them in a bed of wheatgrass, so it looked like the tickets were on a football field, so that was way cool. And we've had brides get customized stamps, so they would stamp their name like an old...
like a train ticket.
Like a train ticket, yeah. We've had a lot of really neat things over the years.
Now, you do weddings and receptions or both combined in the restaurant,
We actually have couples that do get married in our restaurant. We've had, literally in every dining room in the restaurant, we've had couples get married, but obviously the showpiece would be on our grand staircase. Bride comes down from the upper lobby area, meets her groom on the stairs with the minister and judge, and they get married right there in front of everybody on the stairs. And it's really a beautiful space.
When somebody does have a reception at the Grand Concourse, can you do small entrees, big entrees? Is it a price fix? How do you work
Well, we
through
do
that?
offer packages, which include everything from hot and cold hors d'oeuvres through the champagne toast. We do serve their wedding cake at no additional charge from whatever bakery they'd like to provide that from. But if you don't want to do a packaged sit-down dinner and you want to do more of a cocktail reception, what better space than the Grand Concourse, where you have this massive open area where you can mingle around and have food stations and action stations of food. So we're not a cookie cutter place. We don't make you do anything you don't want to do. We do what you want to do.
You said it best right when we first met. You said any woman who walks in there and walks out without wanting to have her reception in that room, she's missing out.
I agree.
It is a beautiful room, the
It is
Grand
awesome.
Concourse. If you'd like to learn more about how to have your wedding or your reception or your wedding and reception at the Grand Concourse, call Brian at 412-261-1717. If you would like to advertise here on our show, call us at 412-575-2400 or drop us an email at showcase@kdka.com. Up next, Sherry Kai from Bettis Floral and Event Design. She'll provide all the finishing touches for that wedding. That's coming up next when Portrait of a Pittsburgh Bride continues.